And like none of you are special. Like I'm not trying to be mean. Like I'm not a 10. I know that I'm not a 10, right? Like I know that I'm not the hottest girl. All these other girls, they want to think like they want their boyfriends to tell them like, hey baby, you're like the prettiest girl in the world. Like, oh, if you had the chance to date me or Kim Kardashian, who would you date? Like, of course he's gonna fucking say Kim Kardashian, but you want him to say you, right? Yeah. Like people don't want to accept reality.
You want to date me.
And they're like nobody in here is a 10. Right? Raise your hand if you're a 10.
In your opinion.
No. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just saying.
You stand in your opinion. That's your opinion.
Well, I think it's reality. I'm saying that nobody in here is a 10. And the reality is that, like, there are a lot of 10s in Miami, right? There are a lot of 10s everywhere. And if you're older and you're living in a world where, you know, men are surrounded by 10s with a click away, whether it be like Bumble, Tinder, whatever, okay? Like your chances of really finding a lifelong partner are pretty slim. I think that's the reality that most women need to accept. Because
how many girls on the panel think they're 10s, just out of curiosity?
Are we going by looks or are we going by personality?
Looks only, because we don't care about your personality.
Men don't care about personality.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
We don't, I mean, we're going looks only.
Totally kidding.
I feel like everybody should regard themselves in the highest esteem possible. So you don't feel like you a 10, but you should.
What if it's not true though?
That's opinion based.
It is opinion based.
It's every single
European.
Somebody across the world can look at you and be like, "Oh my God, you are a 10."
Yes.
They can start talking to you, and they will think you're
in some places in Africa, the biggest women are the prettiest, are the most beautiful women. That's why it's all.
I appreciate this thing that women do where they like to build each other up, but I like. You know, I'm not a 10. You know, like I'm not a 10. I'm not. You know, like I used to be heavier. I lost weight. Like, you know, I don't have like big boobs. I probably have some stretch marks. Like, I'm just being honest, right? Like, I'm not ashamed of it because for me, like, I've never been a woman that. Like I was able to build my platform not off of sexualizing myself. You will never find a photo of me with my top off. You will never find a photo of me with my boobs out. You will never find a photo of me like with a man online because I've been able to build a platform based off of my brain and my, you know, political acumen and things like that. And so for me, like, I don't give a shit in the comments if people think I look like a tranny. I don't care if people think I look like a man. But I'm just saying, like, people say things. It doesn't bother me because, like, I don't care if a man wants to fuck me or not because if he's going to fuck somebody, he's going to do it regardless of whether I give him permission or not, right? Like, that's just reality.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so you guys think women should regard themselves as 10s? You too?
Yes, you should have the highest self-esteem in the world.
So.
Everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's healthy.
But what if it's, like, objectively not true, though? Because to say that you're a 10 effectively means you're perfect.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It just means you're perfectly happy with how you are. You feel like you're perfect for your own self.
But
it's like in your eyes, you are perfectly fine. If you had the opportunity to go get surgery for free at the doctor, you'd be like, no, I'm fucking fine how I am. It doesn't mean you think you're perfect.
I just think that means you're confident.
You confident.
When a woman says I'm a 10, that just means that she has confidence, and I feel every woman should have it because one man could look at you and be like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful woman I ever seen, and then another man could be like, she ain't all that. But somebody really could look at you and be like, she's the one. So it's opinion based. And so your opinion of yourself
about everything
your opinion of yourself should be the highest one in the room.
Yeah.
So that's why when I say it's opinion based, like you might not think
because
I'm a 10
honestly,
or you're a 10,
in my eyes, I be seeing niggas out with bitches and they like really be big and they girl up like my woman bad as fuck, and in they eyes she really is the baddest bitch in the room, but everybody else is looking like, what is this nigga like this young got money got doing with her? In his eyes, she really bad as fuck, and it's how she wears it in his like.
So
I think you're never gonna please everybody. Fetish.
I've noticed.
Well, that's even opinions. Fetishes are opinions.
Yeah, like right nowadays we look at like 10s as like the girls with the perfect noses, the big boobs, the airbrush on Instagram, the this, that, the European beauty standards. But I don't think, me personally, I think like a 10 out of 10 is like the beautiful ethnic girls from Africa with like the big noses and big foreheads, skinny jawline. That's to me is a 10. Like I don't like all these fake lips, like these injections, BBLs. To me, that's not a 10. I like the skinny, natural bodies. To me, that's a 10.
Are your boobs real?
Yeah.
Are they really?
Nice. Yeah, they are.
But hold on, are you a man?
Am I a what?
Are you a man?
No, but I know what I like.
So how you gonna tell us what a 10 is?
Because like I said, it's in the eye of the beholder. It's what I
but
feel
I'm choosing
like,
girls.
in my opinion.
You're not.
But he just asked me what I felt like was a 10.
Oh, okay.
So,
But do you like the same thing he likes? Aha.
Actually, yes. However, I'm not a good example. But the majority of people, the world itself, will tell you what you are.
Yeah, like the thing I've always found that's interesting, and I think it's actually destructive for females, is them self-assessing themselves and saying that like, oh, I'm perfect or whatever. And it's only females that do this shit. Men don't really do that, because like for you guys, you're on Instagram, you get a bunch of validation from men. Guys are giving you comments and giving you attention, whether you deserve it or not. And I think that a lot of modern women have like a very grand. They have this crazy concept in their head of where they stand, and a lot of the times you guys are delusional of where you really stand.
You know what?
Girls will say I'm perfect.
That's true.
I deserve the world. Blah blah blah.
I'm a queen.
I'm a queen, and you have this crazy like belief in yourself, and like with men, like that's the equivalent. What if I walked around and said, you know what? Fuck it. I feel like I'm a billionaire.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be ridiculous for me to say that? Because
like,
effectively speaking, right? So, who is the ultimate consumer of female beauty? It's men. But women feel as though they're the ultimate consumer. No, you guys wear makeup, you guys do all the stuff that you do with your hair extensions, etc. It's typically because men are the end consumer base for female beauty. And with us, right, like men, our value is based on what value do we provide to the world. And a lot of times you're paid in, based on what you can provide. So as a man, your title and your status and how much money you earn typically dictates your value. But I can't run around and say, I'm a billionaire when I'm not, because then you guys will all look at me like I'm fucking crazy. Like this dude's on some wild shit. And I don't have the tangible proof to show that. But women run around and say, because that's your market value, is your beauty, I'm a 10. That's false advertisement, because very few women, if any, are 10s anyway, because that assumes perfection. Yeah. And most girls are not perfect at all.
I want to say that
barely exists.
Yeah, I agree with that point of view. Like, I don't think that women should look at themselves as, oh, I'm perfect, to the point where there's no room for work. I think,
but that's the problem.
Right, that is the issue. And so that's the area that I disagree with.
And I want to say this too, because what this has led to is we have the fattest women ever.
Yep.
Right? And I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I'm going to be honest. Yeah. Black women are the most delusional. Y'all are the ones that run around and say you guys are 10s the most. I'm beautiful. I'm a queen. Be 300 fucking pounds and say you deserve the world. That's crazy to me. The average black woman is like 5'5", 187 pounds. Yo, I'm 6'3", like 195, 200. That's crazy. These bitches are huge. And they're running around and saying that they're fucking, queens. Like, who's the fat chick that Lizzo and shit like that. So I'm not, and this is not just a black woman thing. I'm just saying they're just the fattest. But this is with females in the West in general, in the United States. And I think like this whole concept of not living an objective reality and saying I'm a queen regardless of how you behave, no need for self-improvement, because we don't tell women that they're fat. We don't tell women that they're stupid. We don't tell them that you look like shit. We don't tell them any of this stuff. Like, women don't handle criticism well, so we never give it to them. But sorry, you're going to say?
So,
please.
let me just clarify. When I say that women should regard themselves in the highest esteem, I mean having confidence. But that does not mean that you can't look in the mirror or look at not even only the physical, but just look within yourself and say, I need to work on this. I need to go to the gym. I need to get healthier. I need to work on my anger management. I need to work on why I am a little oversensitive and not like I lash out on people, or I don't understand where people's coming from, or I need to pick up a book and like, I don't know, read more. Like I need to, and it's okay to be able to grow, but still have confidence.
Like try to hold yourself to this unrealistic point of view.
But for what he's saying, you understand, right?
I understand. People be delusional to the point where they feel like there's no room for growth.
Yeah, the problem is that they attribute, and I see your perspective 100%. There's self-love and then obviously where you objectively stand. Yeah. The problem is that women tend to conflate the two. Yeah. Like their self-love comes into like narcissism and hubris and I don't need to change because I am perfect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
So it ends up working in a very bad thing. And I think also like we live in a kind of pussy world now where like bullying is frowned upon, internet bullying, oh my God, this is so bad. Like for men, it's good to get bullied. I think for women too, a lot of the times. But we don't really tell women the truth. And I think that's kind of what's, and then you add Instagram in where you got girls, and someone actually, a girl that used to work for us, Red, she said this, and I thought this was very smart, very smart. She said that a lot of times what girls do is they'll assess where they stand off of their pictures on the internet. Does that make sense? Yeah. So like they'll have like a great photo shoot with edited photos and they'll be like a 9 or a 10 on Instagram and they'll hold themselves to that. Like that's where I stand, bitch. But in reality, you meet them in person, like what the fuck? You don't look like your pictures. But they still have that mindset of I attribute my value to what I look at my best on the internet with edits.
Right, that's social media. I don't mean delusion. I just mean healthy confidence.